Rare photos you have never seen before. An extremely toxic Diphlania armata, the injuries resulting from contact with this species are considered very painful and can take several months to heal, washed ashore near Broome, Western Australia. A massive anaconda underwater. The heaviest snakes in the world, they partially use the water to support their weight. The bloodwood tree, when cut, bleeds a bright red-colored sap, which looks like fresh blood from a wound. When trees are only damaged, not completely chopped down, this sticky blood-like sap actually seals the cut and heals it. In 1972, Bruce Lee filmed the legendary fight scene for Game of Death against his real-life student, 7 feet 2 inches NBA star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The scene showcased Lee's adaptability as he overcame Kareem's massive reach using Jeet Kune Do techniques. It became an iconic symbol of philosophy in motion, speed, strategy, and intellect triumphing over sheer size. At 22, Richard Norris accidentally shot himself, losing nearly all facial features, but miraculously survived. 15 years later, after dozens of surgeries failed, he became the world's first recipient of a full face transplant in 2012. In the 1990s, Kim Jong-un reportedly attended a Swiss boarding school under the alias Pak-un, or Pakun, posing as the son of a North Korean embassy worker. During his time there, he was described as quiet, basketball-obsessed, and a big fan of Michael Jordan. This period gave him rare exposure to Western culture before returning to North Korea to later assume leadership. The Typhoon class is a class of Soviet nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, the largest submarines ever built, with a submerged displacement of 48,000 tons. In 1960, September the 24th, the USS Enterprise CVN-65, the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, was launched in Newport News, Virginia. In 2009, Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger safely landed U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River after both engines failed from a bird strike. All 155 passengers and crew survived in what became known as the Miracle on the Hudson. The quick decision and flawless execution turned the event into one of the most remarkable feats in aviation history. In April 2000, two brothers, Juan and Pedro Sanchez, accidentally discovered the giant crystal cave, also known as Cueva de los Cristales, in the Nica mine near Nica, Chihuahua, Mexico, while drilling for lead and silver. The southern elephant seal is the largest member of the carnivore order in the world. Adult males reaching 5 meters in length and weigh 2,200 to 4,000 kilograms. The UK's biggest ever pumpkin was grown in October 2022, weighing 1,205 kilograms. Marilyn Monroe case might not be what it seems, officially ruled an overdose, but tons of shady details. Missing phone records, inconsistent reports, and rumored ties to both JFK and RFK. Even the housekeeper's timeline didn't add up. Some call it Hollywood's biggest cover-up. 4-month-old Midas, possibly a Russian blue mix, has an extra pair of ears on her head. Her unusual ear count is believed to be the result of a recessive gene mutation from her parents. Frankenlouis, a Diprosopus, also known as Janus or two-faced cat, is known for his unusual longevity. He was named by the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest surviving Janus cat in 2012. Huge stash of 1,600-year-old Roman coins that were found buried in northern Italy that date to the 4th to 5th century AD. The coins contain engravings of emperors Honorius, Valentinian III, Leon I, Antonio, and Livio Severo. A rare coin depicting Brutus, Caesar's infamous assassin, sells for $2 million. The Matryoshka diamond is a rare diamond that contains another diamond inside it. It was discovered in 2019 in the Nurba mine in Siberia, Russia. Double statue of Mephistopheles and Margarita. This is probably one of the most unusual sculptures in the world. It was created by an unknown French sculptor in the 19th century and is kept at the Salar Jung Museum in Hyderabad, India. What the Pyramid of Khafre looked like 4,500 years ago compared to today. The pyramids of Giza were originally covered with highly polished white limestones, with the capstones at the peak being covered in gold. Fossil corals are natural gemstones that are formed when prehistoric corals are gradually replaced by agate, chalcedony, or quartz. This whole process can take over 20 million years and only happens under very specific geological conditions. The giant Buddha of Lashan, carved into a hillside in the 8th century, gazes over the meeting point of 3 rivers. Standing 71 meters tall, it is the largest Buddha statue in the world. This ant's abdomen is hugely swollen with nectar. Honeypot ants serve as living larders for the ant colony. They are so valuable that raider ants from other colonies will try to steal them for their food stores. Australian Aboriginal people consider these ants a sweet delicacy. When sperm whales need a nap, they take a deep breath, dive down about 45 feet, and arrange themselves into perfectly level, vertical patterns. No one knew whales slept vertically until a 2008 study documented the behavior, and no one captured really good photography of it in the wild until 2017. White buffalo are extremely rare. The National Bison Association has estimated that they only occur in approximately 1 out of every 10 million births. This guy is one of them. This is what giant ground sloths looked like before humans hunted them into extinction. Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's wedding cake being decorated. The cake weighed 500 pounds and was 9 feet tall, and it took 2 weeks to make. A 19-year-old Andre the Giant, surrounded by women in towels, taken in 1966 during a Paris fashion exhibition. Adam Rayner was the only person in recorded history to have been both a dwarf and a giant in one lifetime. This is a huge ancient forest world discovered 300 meters down a sinkhole in Hubei, China, containing a unique ecosystem of ancient trees, plants, and animals. In Finland, there is a rock that has been balancing on top of another rock for 11,000 to 12,000 years. A plant in Australia that can cause pain upon touch, which can last for months or even years in rare cases. If you've ever gotten particularly lucky during a hike in the hills or mountains, you'll have stumbled across this spectacle. Thousands, even tens of thousands of ladybugs crawling over each other in one huge clump. It's called an aggregation. The creeping devil is a rare species of cactus that is not only capable of cloning itself to survive, but also of detaching from its major shoot to move through the desert over time. Genghis Khan would marry off a daughter to the king of an allied nation. Then he would assign his new son-in-law to military duty in the Mongol Wars, while his daughter took over the rule. Most sons-in-law died in combat, giving his daughters complete control of these nations. A young man from Madhya Pradesh has dense fur all over his body as a result of the extremely unusual illness known as werewolf syndrome. Photographer Eve Adams has captured 2 rare penguins on camera, a yellow penguin in 2019 and a fully black penguin in 2024. One of the world's most strangely put-together insects, the seed beetle, Ctenocolum spartan, from Honduras. An orange-colored alligator in South Carolina. Most likely, according to an official, this alligator overwintered in a rusty steel culvert and became dyed by the iron oxide contained in the water around its body. It will lose this coloration once it molts. The Purosaurus was a massive prehistoric crocodile with a skull over 5 feet long, making it one of the largest and most powerful reptiles to ever live. Albino lobsters are the rarest find at 1 to 100 million and the most sought-after color variation. These lobsters lack the pigmentation that gives lobsters their typical coloration. Thanks to a genetic condition called leucism, albino lobsters don't even turn red when cooked. Extremely rare oarfish, doomsday fish, spotted at Southern California coasts. This deep-sea fish can grow more than 30 feet, 9 meters long, and is only spotted close to the surface if it is sick, dying, or disoriented. The wave is considered moderate to strenuous. It's a round-trip hike of just over 6 miles, 9.5 kilometers, if you take the most direct route. The best time to visit is generally in late fall, winter, or spring, as summer temperatures can be extremely hot and potentially dangerous. Rare photos showing Niagara Falls completely frozen over in the year 1911. Men stand in a 45-ton steel pipe over the Hoover Dam, 1935. Giant pandas enjoying hot pot-style cake to celebrate their 5th birthday at Chongqing Zoo. In 1663, the partial fossilized skeleton of a woolly rhinoceros was discovered and mistakenly assembled. This is the Magdeburg unicorn, one of the worst fossil reconstructions in human history. This 12,000-year-old strange statue from Russia, covered with unknown symbols, is the oldest wooden statue in the world. A boy found a strange stone on the beach. Archaeologists told him it was a Neanderthal's hand, axe. The artifact is now on display at a museum in southern England. Experts say the find is so rare that most qualified archaeologists would never find one themselves. An 8,000-year-old cave painting at the Coves de la Rana in eastern Spain, depicting a woman holding onto lianas to gather honey from a beehive. The painting is the earliest known depiction of bees and the oldest evidence of honey consumption. This green snake wrapped itself around the great white heron's beak to prevent the bird from eating it.